Every afternoon, when the final school bell rang, most students rushed home laughing and free. But for 3 schoolgirls, the walk home felt like stepping into a nightmare they couldn't escape. The same group of bullies waited for them every single day, mocking, blocking their path, sometimes even throwing their bags on the ground just to watch them cry. The girls tried to ignore it, tried to be brave, but fear grew heavier with each passing afternoon. What the bullies didn't know was that someone had been quietly watching from a distance, someone who believed that no child should be afraid to walk home from school. And one afternoon, something happened that would change everything, not just for the girls, but for the bullies too. Stay until the end, because the moment the bikers stepped in became a story the whole town would never forget. Like and subscribe to Heartfelt Stories Hub. The small town of Greenridge was known for its peaceful streets, friendly neighbors, and quiet afternoons filled with the sound of children playing. But for Lily, Emma, and Sophia, the walk home from school had become the hardest part of their day. Every afternoon, the same 3 boys waited near the old bus stop by Maple Street. At first, it had started with teasing, small comments, laughter, and whispers behind their backs. The girls tried to ignore it, thinking it would stop, but it didn't. Soon the teasing turned into harassment. The bullies blocked the sidewalk, grabbed their backpacks, and made cruel jokes about their clothes, their voices, even their dreams. Lily often tried to stay strong for her friends, but inside she was scared. Emma began walking slower, hoping the bullies wouldn't notice them. Sophia sometimes pretended to tie her shoe just to delay the moment they had to pass by. One cloudy afternoon, things got worse. As the girls walked past the bus stop, one of the boys stepped forward and kicked Sophia's school bag across the pavement. Her books spilled out onto the ground. Papers flew everywhere. The boys laughed. Sophia's eyes filled with tears as she knelt to pick up her things. Lily felt her chest tighten with anger, but she didn't know what to do. Emma whispered, "Let's just go." But that day, someone noticed. Across the street, a group of bikers had stopped outside a small diner called Rusty Wheels Cafe. They were regulars in town. People often misunderstood them because of their leather jackets and loud motorcycles, but they were known among locals for helping whenever someone needed it. One of them, a tall man named Jack, saw the scene unfold. He didn't say anything at first. He simply watched the girls hurried away, trying to hide their tears. The bullies laughed and walked off like nothing had happened. Jack looked at his friends and said quietly, "That's been happening more than once." Another biker nodded. "Yeah, I've seen it too." They didn't act immediately. Instead, they waited. They wanted to understand what was going on. Over the next few days, they noticed the same pattern. Same time. Same place. Same girls being harassed, and each day, the girls looked more afraid. One afternoon, Lily stopped walking halfway down the street. "I wish we didn't have to go this way anymore," she said softly. Emma replied, "Maybe tomorrow will be different." But tomorrow looked exactly the same. The bullies were waiting again. What they didn't realize was that this time, someone else was waiting too. The afternoon sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across Maple Street. The girls approached the bus stop slowly, their steps uncertain. The bullies were already there. One of them smirked. "Well, look who's back." Lily felt her heart racing. She held her backpack tightly, hoping today would be less terrible than the others, but the boys stepped forward again. Just as one of them reached for Emma's bag, the deep rumble of motorcycles echoed down the street. Everyone turned. 5 bikers rolled slowly toward the sidewalk, their engines quiet but powerful. They stopped nearby, their presence calm yet impossible to ignore. The bullies froze. Jack stepped off his bike, removing his helmet. His voice was calm, not angry, but firm enough to make the air feel heavier. "Is there a problem here?" The boys looked at each other. Suddenly, their confidence seemed to disappear. "No, we were just joking," one of them muttered. Jack glanced at the scattered books on the ground and the frightened expressions on the girls' faces. That didn't look like a joke. The street grew silent. People from nearby shops began watching. The bullies shifted nervously, realizing they were no longer the ones in control. Another biker, Maria, stepped forward and helped Sophia pick up her papers. She smiled kindly and said, "No one should feel scared walking home." Something changed in that moment. The bullies looked embarrassed. For the first time, someone had called them out, not with shouting or violence, but with calm strength and accountability. Jack spoke again, his voice steady. "You're young. You still get to decide who you want to be. But this isn't it." The boys said nothing. Finally, one of them quietly picked up Lily's dropped notebook and handed it back. "Sorry." It wasn't a loud apology. It wasn't dramatic, but it was real, and sometimes, that's how change begins. From that day on, the bikers made it a habit to stop by the diner around the time school ended. They didn't need to say much. Just being there made a difference. The bullies stopped showing up, the girls slowly began to feel safe again. Weeks later, something unexpected happened. One afternoon, the same boys approached the girls, but this time, they didn't block their path. Instead, they said, "Hey, we're helping clean the park this weekend. If you want to come." Lily looked surprised. Emma smiled slightly. Sophia nodded. People can change when someone shows them a better path, and the town of Greenridge never forgot the day when a group of bikers reminded everyone that courage doesn't always roar loudly. Sometimes it simply stands up when it matters most, because sometimes heroes don't wear capes, sometimes they ride motorcycles and protect those who can't protect themselves yet. And that moment, when fear turned into hope, became a story told in Greenridge for years to come.